It's Monday again, and welcome to the last ever OldGits. Yes, it is the very last one. Don't worry, everything will be revealed. I'm not going to tell you anything, but everything will be revealed. Don't worry. I'm not going anywhere. Some of you might say, damn, he's not going anywhere, but don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. Right, first things first, I want to mention tomorrow, 11 AM tomorrow, the Totally Wicked petition is being handed over at Whitehall, outside the Department of Health. So if you haven't already made arrangements to get there, and you can get there, please do get there if you possibly can. So again, that's 11 AM tomorrow, outside the Department of Health in Whitehall, London. Please get there if you can. Right, so what's coming up on tonight's show? I shall be talking to a brand new vapor who's recently switched from smoking to vaping. So we'll have a little chat to that person who I shall introduce shortly. And after that, I shall be talking to somebody who most of you probably already know. And that's Graham Gords Entwhistle. Most of you know him as just Gords. So I'll be having a chat with him about a story that's recently been in the media. So first of all, let's kick off the show. Now, this person that I'm going to speak to first, her name is Amy. No, I'm going to probably mess this surname up. Aren't I, Amy? I'm probably going to mess this up. How am I going to say this? Amy
Pelletier. Yep, that's it. Yep.
Did I get it right?
Yeah, you did.
Awesome. Her name's Amy Pelletier. Now she is a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Yes, YouTuber.
Term, I guess.
She does gameplay videos. She's got a channel on YouTube known as Geek Etiquette on YouTube. So welcome, Amy, to the show.
Thank you for having me.
How are you this evening?
I'm good. A little bit tired, but I'm good.
Good. So you've recently made the switch to vaping from smoking, haven't you?
Yes, last week and a half, I think it is now. I think coming up to 2 weeks tomorrow.
A very recent switcher then.
Yeah, definitely. I'm still like, everything's so brand new. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I mean, I just got some things, and yeah, just made the switch.
So first question I wanted to ask you is, how long were you smoking before you made the switch?
Well, I've never been like a heavy smoker, but I started at a bit of a young age, like about 13 or 14. So, and I'm 28 now, and I can't do maths. So work it out, that's like what? 14 years? Yeah, 15 years. Yeah. So yeah, it's been on and off during that whole time, really. So.
But not really a heavy smoker, though, no?
No. I mean, I would never go through like, it would always be under 20 a day. So, you know, average would be between like 8 and 11 maybe, and on a bad day it might be sort of 13 to 15. But yeah, so not bad, but still not great.
And what made you decide to give up smoking in the first place?
Well, it's mostly the whole household, like my mum, my stepdad, and myself were all smokers, and we've all tried to make the transition a couple of times in the past, and so they decided, again, aside from obviously the health benefits of switching and quitting, you know, the hard stuff, it was the money that's a big influence, I guess you could say, and how much we would save. Plus, you know, there's certain personal reasons like medical conditions which quitting smoking will help with that. So yeah, but it's the money. Money's the main thing.
Yeah,
How much you're saving.
true.
So yeah.
Is there other people in your family that are switching to vaping as well then?
Yeah, so it's my mum and my stepdad as well. And we all switched around about the same time. I was a little bit after them.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, they've done it before, I think for about two
Oh,
years. But they were living in the States and then they came back over here.
yeah.
And the move just stressed them out too much and they kind of buckled and went back to smoking again. So yeah. Um,
So how did you find out? Well, I guess that answers that question about how you found out about vaping then,
yeah.
really.
Yeah, it was through them. So at the moment, I'm I'm just going off like what my stepdad sort of knows a bit more. So to start off with, I've just been getting information from him, and you know he's sort of telling me what tank to get and what have you. And at the minute, I'm borrowing his battery just to tide me over until I get my own stuff, basically.
Uh-huh.
So that's sort of where I'm at the moment. So it's all brand new, all the terminology and everything. I'm just like, I haven't a Scooby Doo what's going on. I just do what I'm told and just vape away at my pen.
So it's your dad who's like advising you on what to use and whatever
Yeah,
at the moment then?
yeah. So he recommended the tank, as you know the one that he's got, and um, that's mostly it really. The main thing that he sort of helped me out with. Um, and yeah, and I got one, and that's it so far.
So now I saw you in one of the Facebook groups that I'm in.
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm guessing that you're learning quite a bit from that as well.
yeah. It's really informative because like I didn't realize there was so much to it, and
Yeah.
all the different mods and batteries and it just it's a little overwhelming at first. So I'm just
Uh-huh.
slowly trying to get used to all the different things and trying to learn basically, and then eventually I'll transition from like a pen sort of type to these block these square things mods. I don't know.
Something like this.
Yeah, exactly that. So I feel like such a noob.
Well,
Vape noob.
basically you are
Well,
a newbie vapor at the moment.
yeah, yeah, I'm brand new. So, so yeah, it's been really helpful actually as well, and it's and I know that I can ask any question, and obviously no question is a dumb question, and
No.
it's been really good. I mean, I haven't been particularly active. I've just sort of been on the sidelines trying to take it in, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then if I have any questions, I know that I'm more than welcome to ask, so I will do at some point.
Yeah, because
So
I added you to our Vapor Trails Facebook
yes,
group as well, didn't I? So
yeah,
that's
yeah,
another route for you to ask questions in as well.
exactly, yeah, which will help a ton because I have absolutely no clue. So
In the whole vaping experience so far.
it's been interesting. I've found that I've got the munchies a lot, which
Yeah.
is unfortunate because when you're trying to like lose a bit of weight or on a diet and then you find that you're ending up snacking on a hobnob, it kind of doesn't it's it doesn't help. But yeah, it's just adjusting. It's just changing your habit from going like because we used to go outside, so
Yeah.
it's trying to transition from being able to stay inside and just change your habits because that is the most thing that the most that got to me was the habitual side of it.
Yeah.
rather than the addictive side, addictive part of it. So it's just, yeah, just sit. Just, I need to be distracted, and I'm finding that I've got it in my mouth near enough all the time. um, and it's knowing when to stop, and it's taking some getting used to, but I'm enjoying it a lot
Yeah.
more as I get used to it. What else? There hasn't really been any sort of side effects. I mean, the only thing I noticed, I was really bloated one time. it's it's like you kind of like have it's just gonna sound really like I'm talking about this to however many people like watching and listening, and I just realised, yeah, I'm talking about trapped wind, but you know,
Yeah.
it's something that I experience.
Ah.
I'm not gonna lie. Um, but other than that, it's good. It's been good.
So what sort of? I mean, you said that you're using a battery that your dad gave
My
you. So what?
stepdad's letting me borrow for the time being.
So is that
Uh,
just like a standard battery,
yeah,
or is it like a variable voltage battery?
yeah, it's just a standard one. It's a Rock Legend. It looks like, I don't know.
All
It's
right.
just
Yeah. Uh-huh.
and the tank is a Kangatech Mini Pro Tank 3.
Yeah.
If that means anything to any support, what I was told to buy. Um,
Yeah. I should imagine that the Mini Pro Tank 3 will be familiar to most people
mm,
watching this.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's new to me. But
And
yeah,
what
that's all I'm using at the minute.
and what strength juice are you using at the moment?
Oh, cripes! I should have checked that. I know I've got a mix at the moment. I know I've got vanilla and cappuccino, and the cappuccino is stronger than the vanilla, but I couldn't say off the top of my head what strength they are.
Right.
Um, and I can't remember. I know the vanilla is V2. It's a V2 liquid. I'm
Mm.
not sure about where the cappuccino's from,
Right.
but yeah, so it's probably fairly low.
Uh-huh.
Um, but I don't. I can't. I'm sorry, I should have checked. But I can't. I can't think what it is at the minute. So
So you're not sure on what strength it is then?
I'm not. I'm not
To me,
at all.
most people who start vaping start at like a high sort of nicotine strength.
Right. Yeah. Um. I. 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 I don't think it's that high because, as I say, because I'm not really I wasn't really a heavy smoker. I keep saying
Yeah.
I'm not, but because in my head I'm still kind of smoking, but I'm not. It's weird. Um. So. Yeah, because I wasn't really a heavy smoker, I don't really need a high strength of anything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so and I found that I'm not gagging for it. Phrasing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So yeah, I don't know. So some people might start off higher because they've probably been smoking for longer and
Well, yeah, probably, heavy smokers maybe
right.
would
Yeah.
start at a higher level and,
Mhm.
drop it as they've been
Drop it
vaping a bit
gradually.
longer, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Eventually I might even end up on like something, maybe like nothing at all, like
Ah,
absolutely no. Just doing it again because of the habit and the the feel of it. Because I do
ah.
enjoy that. I do actually really enjoy that. Um, so
And have you been much involved with the like community side of vaping at all, or I
I
dare say with what you do, you haven't really had that much
no,
time to.
no, I haven't, unfortunately. I do want to get more involved as soon as I can. But as you say, I'm still trying to balance everything with,
Yeah.
what I do in my spare time and networking with all kinds of people, including like people in the vaping community and stuff. So yeah, I've been pretty bad on that front, which I do apologise. But you know, eventually I hope to sort of change that in the very near future. Get more involved.
So now you got into the one group through Derek
Yes.
McEwen, who's
Yeah.
another YouTuber who
Mhm.
introduced you to that particular group, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. And I assume it was from a vlog I did a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago now. The first one when I said that I was going to be doing this.
Uh-huh.
And that's actually funnily enough how I got into contact with you and how I'm here now, which is kind of
Yes.
weird. um, and yeah, so where was I going with that? Oh yeah, through Derek. So it's funny how it's a small world it actually is when you think
Yes.
about it. Um, but yeah, hopefully I'll get more involved.
And
Um,
like you said, I mean, you started off on that
mhm,
small battery device, and
mhm.
eventually you plan on moving up to something a bit more
Yeah.
advanced, shall we say?
Yeah, upgrade. Yeah, exactly. That's going to be the plan, and then eventually, I mean, I may carry on, or I may just stop altogether. I don't know exactly yet, but to be honest, I quite enjoy all the cloud and the flavors and you know the complete customization of it. It's pretty nifty, so I'll
Yeah.
probably just carry on because it's fun.
So you may catch the bug known as shiny-itis. Then, have you heard of shiny-itis yet?
I've not. I do like shiny things, but I've not heard it in this context.
No. Well, shiny-itis is the disease, shall we say, of
Okay.
when you catch the bug of not being able to stop buying.
Right. So it
Yeah.
is kind of like the same sort of thing. It's like, oh, shiny. And
Yes.
then you want to get one. Yeah, I got you.
Yes.
Okay. That will most likely happen, yes. I think that's unavoidable. So I have quite an addictive personality
Uh-huh.
and I like collecting stuff and I like pretty things. Well, not I like purple. So anything purple. So I will be
Yeah.
getting a lot of purple stuff.
I think you'll find there are plenty of purple devices
Yeah.
around.
I have seen a few purple things already and I'm like, oh, that's so pretty. I've got to have it. So
Yes.
eventually I will. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So, like you say, you may carry on vaping, and then
Hmm.
you may stop
All
altogether.
together. I think it's more likely going to be the former. Um,
Uh-huh.
so, but that was because at the time, I wasn't, I didn't know about, you know, the thing that you've got. I still don't know what it's called. Um, and all the things you can do with it. So it's opened like a whole new can of worms for me, which is intriguing. So yeah, I probably will carry on most likely rather than just stop altogether.
So, which thing is this that you're talking about that I've got?
The thing that you got, the box blue mod thing.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, that.
This is the iStick 50.
Okay, okay. I'm learning, kinda.
Yeah, this is a 50-watt device,
Right. Okay.
which you
See that?
won't, which you won't. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, way over my head. Whoosh.
It just
But
means that you can basically alter the power to alter the experience, basically, of what you're vaping.
oh, okay. So it's controlled that way.
Yeah,
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Ah, you learn something new every day.
you do. And it
Yeah.
seems as if we have reached the time for our first set of adverts.
Awesome.
It's been absolutely brilliant speaking to you, Amy, and finding
Yeah, you
out all
too.
about your experience of becoming a new vapor.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been great.
And hopefully we may speak to you again
Mhm.
at some point in the future
Oh, for sure.
when you've had a bit more experience.
Yeah, I'd love that, definitely. And I actually know what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh. So we shall let you go.
Thank you, and you enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for having me.
Right. And we shall speak to you soon, Amy.
All right, take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. And we'll
Bye
have our
bye.
first set of adverts.
Dripper selection boxes now come in 0 and 3mg strengths. So tell Dripper the kind of flavours you like and we'll send you 70ml of some of the world's most exciting flavours every month. With free delivery anywhere in Europe, treat yourself to a Dripper box today.
Dripper.co.uk.
Joytech UK are proud sponsors of vaportrails.tv.
And we are back. And that was Amy Pelletier talking about her experience of becoming a new vapor. Right, our next guest is going to be Graham Gords Entwhistle. You probably know him better as Gords. You've seen him loads of times in chat before. And we're going to talk about a story that's been in the news recently about a schoolboy that had his e-cig confiscated from him. His mum was trying to wean him off cigarettes and he had his e-cig confiscated off him at school. So welcome Gords.
Hello. Hello.
How you doing, mate?
I'm not bad. Well, we have actually talked about this already, haven't we?
Yeah, you're sounding a bit crackly there, mate.
Typical. Is it coming through alright?
Yeah, you're not too bad. You're just sounding a little bit crackly, but we'll bear with it. So, yeah, there was that story in the news, wasn't there, about that boy who had his e-cig confiscated off him? I mean, his mum was basically trying to get him off the fags, basically, which was a good thing, really. I mean, I'm sure we'll all agree on that.
Yeah,
By buying an e-cig for him.
in my mind, he was okay. He was what we in the community feel is too young, but he was smoking. So
Yeah.
I can't help but feel that if that was what was working, because he did in the story, he did say that he tried various types of NRT and it hadn't worked.
Uh-huh.
But the e-cig was working. So to me, yes, he's what we would consider too young, but they can prescribe NRT from 12 years old, even though it won't work.
Yeah.
So in my mind, it was being used as we would hope that it was used. I feel perhaps the school could have maybe come to some form of arrangement or agreement, but I'm not sure that they sought any advice on it either. So they probably took quite an alarmist stance about it.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, we've only had the PHE report out for what, a month. Prior to that, as far as everyone was concerned, the e-cigs were bad, really, from an authoritarian point of view.
Uh-huh.
So I guess I can understand where the school was coming from to an extent, but I feel that perhaps it could have been handled better. Particularly given we did have those kids in, I think it was Staffordshire sort of area. One of them was given an RT, and they ended up all having to go home because they all overdosed on it.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know.
I mean, it's like you say, you can sort of see where the school are coming from on the one hand,
Yeah,
because they're looking at it from the point of view that they've seen all the reports in the newspapers saying that e-cigs need more research and that, you know, basically that e-cigs are bad and they shouldn't be used until there's more research, basically. And I think they also said that he'd been offered some support from the school nurse as well, I think, was in the article.
my understanding is that that's standard practice. If the pupil's found to be smoking, the school is actually authorised to offer them NRT without even consulting the parents, if that's the pupil's wish. So, at the point where this seems to have come about, e-cigs weren't part of that strategy. Now, we know that with the stop smoking services, the NICE recommendations, the Public Health England report, we know that probably in a few years' time, if not hopefully soon, that maybe people become more open to the idea of tobacco harm reduction.
Uh-huh.
But at the moment, the mechanism isn't there, and I'm not sure that you could argue that he should be permitted to traipse around school blowing clouds.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if he's doing it, why isn't Johnny over there doing it? You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So it's a tricky one, but I do feel that in that instance, we were talking about a proxy purchase, which is going to be illegal from next month anyway, but it was a proxy purchase for the right reasons. But I don't think they consulted with the school properly, so the school wasn't aware of the situation. It's a tricky one. It really is.
It's a very tricky one. I mean, the whole proxy purchase situation is a tricky one as well, basically, because you're talking about parents that want to help their children, sons or daughters, get off something that they know is hurting them by putting them onto something that they know is going to help them.
Well, at this point they believe, or they're prepared to try, it seems. It seems like his mother was aware of things. I mean, the circumstances, if memory serves, his father had died, and that was when he started smoking.
Yeah.
Now, I believe the lad, he's only 10 or 15 miles away from me. He's only up the road. But I believe he started smoking because his father had died, and obviously you're talking something that's a massive effect on anyone, let alone someone who's going through puberty, going through all his exams and everything at school. It's quite probably the straw that broke the camel's back, and he was sort of perhaps trying to take back some control. Now, reading the story from the local paper rather than the national paper, he did say that he tried various NRT before, which hadn't been successful, which I believe many people in chats, and personally I never tried NRT at all. I never saw the point because I wasn't sick, I was just a smoker. But that was really the only option available to people up until the last few years. But his mum is obviously prepared to try anything to try and help her son, and I can't fault her for it. I'd do exactly the same thing in those circumstances.
Yeah. I just want to say you have to excuse the audio issues that we're having at the moment. You've still got quite a distortion on your mic cords at the moment. I don't know if there's anything that you can do to improve that.
I don't have any controls at all, I'm just looking now.
There's a hell of a distortion on your mic, but I wouldn't mess with it just at the moment, mate. Just leave it alone for now.
No,
You can have a look at it during the ads if you want, but
no,
just have to bear with it for the time being. But yeah, as you were saying, I mean, his mum was just trying to help. I mean, he'd been through a really hard time with his dad. And like you say, puberty and everything, and school's not the easiest thing at the best of times anyway. And his mum was just doing what she thought was best at the time. And now the school has taken that away from him, which means that he's going to probably go back to smoking again.
Well, he has gone back to smoking. That was in the report. So, you know, he actually said in the report, I don't know why the school's doing it to me. It's like they want me to smoke.
Yeah. But no, I mean, it's a tough one, as you say. But this whole, I should leave your mic alone for the time being, mate. It's just causing more audio issues.
No problem. I'm not touching it.
But this whole proxy purchase thing, it's whether you agree with it or not. I mean, personally, I haven't got a problem with a parent going and getting an e-cig for a son or daughter. I've not got a problem with that at all. And I think there was another article about Scottish pupils. And just let me get that article up. There was an article in the Scotsman. Yeah, it was just saying that only 5% of pupils who'd never smoked had tried e-cigarettes, and that curiosity was the main driver for use, and that the forthcoming health bill proposes a ban on the sale of e-cigarettes to under 18s, which is fair enough. Proxy purchase by adults for minors, and restrictions on the marketing of the products. Now, there was part of this that was a bit strange to me. The Public Health Minister, Maureen Watt, Now there was a part of this that stuck out to me. See if I can find it. Whilst more research is needed, e-cigarettes are almost certainly less harmful than tobacco, and if people are using them as an aid to quit smoking, that is a good thing. Okay, now why say that? And then the child gets an e-cig confiscated off him. But yet a health minister is saying, but then that's Scotland, I suppose.
Yeah, different boroughs. Don't forget that around here, around Lancashire, the whole public health setup around Lancashire is incredibly anti-e-cig. John's son is one of the directors for one of the areas to do one of the public health areas. We've got Martin McKee flitting in and out. We've got the Faculty of Public Health. Most of them are working out of Liverpool. We've got the Health Equalities Group, I think it is, who another set that don't like vaping at all and don't like e-cigs, and probably anyone who's a vapor on Twitter is blocked by most of those people. So we're still very much, we've got different setups in different areas. I know I've reached out to a few different stop smoking services around here and they're not interested.
So basically the area around there where the school kid got his e-cig confiscated is very anti-e-cig then?
Yes.
Now I know that this story is pretty close to you because you found that your stepson had got hold of an e-cig.
Yes. Yeah.
And how old is he?
He's 14 tomorrow. So when he purchased it, it was the one that we found first. He purchased that at the start of summer. So he was a couple of months away from being 14. Now, he purchased that from a pawn shop in Wigan, which I'm not that pleased about. What in Wigan Council actually runs a responsible vendor service, because at the moment it's perfectly legal for an under 18 to buy an e-cig if they so choose. It's just we as a community have always operated on the idea that they're not for people under the age of 18. But I think most of us have also operated with the caveat that if they're smoking, however, that's a different kettle of fish. Now, I've never seen any evidence to believe that Dylan or any of his friends are smoking. There's never a second-hand smell of smoke on his second-hand smoke smell on his clothing or anything like that. So I can only conclude that he's purely gone into this for vaping.
Right. Well, just hang on a second, Gords. It's time for our second set of ads. So we'll go to our second set of ads and we'll continue this when we come back, mate.
Healthy Vape, UK purveyor of e-cigarettes and e-liquids. proud sponsors of vaping entertainment on Vapor Trails TV.
And we are back. And welcome back. Right, before the break we were talking to Gords. We were just talking about his stepson Dylan, and his mic was playing up something chronic. But we've managed to get his audio problems sorted out now. Haven't we, Gords?
We hope so.
Yes, you're sounding a lot better now, mate. So, we were talking about how Dylan got hold of an e-cig, and he was only, what? He was 13, was he?
Yeah, he was 13 when he bought it. It was the start of his summer holidays, which would have been June.
Yeah.
Now, the place where he's bought it from apparently has a reputation for selling to school kids. In fact, it's not been unheard of for them to sell to school kids in school uniform. Which, at this point in time, isn't illegal, but it is morally wrong.
Definitely.
I would have certainly wanted them to be asking for ID or the parents to be there. Now, what's more annoying is Wigan Council, despite what we were saying about this area being anti-e-cig, Wigan Council operates a voluntary responsible vendor policy. Now, basically what that is if you are a vendor, you contact them and they will come and inspect you. You sign a pledge not to sell to people who are under 18. And they then give you various signage to put up that reflects that policy.
Yeah.
Now, I've not been to this place yet to visit them, but I do not think that I'm going to find that information resplendent in their premises. As I say, for next week, it's not going to be an issue anyway. In fact, I hope they do sell to some under 18s, because then they can be prosecuted.
Yeah. Yes, because from next month it's going to be illegal anyway.
Yes. Now with Dylan, his mum spoke to him about it briefly, and then she turned him over to me in the evening, and I spoke to him about it. And the net result is he's actually sold his gear to one of my friends who was in need of a setup.
Yeah.
So it's going to be one of those things where now we're just going to have to watch it. Unfortunately, he's broke our trust, and he's going to have to get that back now.
Uh-huh. Well, yeah, I mean, if you suspect, I mean, that he wasn't smoking anyway, and he was just experimenting, shall we say?
Well, I've spoken to some of his friends, and he's a member of a local rugby club as well.
Yeah.
I've quietly spoke to some of the kids there, and what we're finding is it's, as everywhere else, vaping is displacing smoking. Kids aren't daft, they know that smoking's unhealthy.
Yeah.
Vaping is now becoming the new way to rebel. You might even argue that it's possibly the more intelligent way to rebel, given what we know. But I don't think that common sense is going to enter into it if this becomes more mainstream, if you like.
Mm-hmm.
It's a case of any excuse, really. So I'm not in the least bit over the moon. In fact, I'm absolutely livid about the whole situation.
Which isn't surprising.
You know, I mean, he doesn't need it, and it has far-ranging implications.
Uh-huh.
It's something that needs to be addressed. It might be that some of the vaping groups maybe need to start thinking about going or approaching schools and asking if maybe we can educate kids a little more. I don't know. I really don't know where to go with all this, but I have a feeling that I want to do something about it.
It's a thought. It's definitely a thought. Maybe we can expand on that another time, maybe.
Well, certainly talking to Dylan, he wasn't aware of sort of the larger picture. I mean, he hadn't even been taught to change your coil.
Uh-huh.
But obviously, with everything we have with Vapor Trails TV and everything that's going on that those of us follow, we know there's much further reaching implications for a lot more people than just a few kids that want to blow clouds, basically.
Yeah. Most definitely, mate. Yeah. It's going to be interesting going forward. For sure.
So, but well, as you know, I've had a couple of weeks now to stew about this, so
Uh-huh.
I don't know, there's a few things going through my head, but I'm trying to look for some way that we can positively address it rather than negatively address it.
Yeah, positively is definitely the way to go, I think. If we can bring something positive from this, then that's going to be best, I think. But yeah, I mean, there is definitely food for thought there. But I think we're going to have to leave it there, mate, because we're rapidly approaching the end of the show.
I'm watching the timer.
And being the last show, I need to have a chat to Bob as well. So I'm going to say thank you very much for joining us, Gords.
Yeah, no problem, and apologies for the technical difficulties at my end.
No problem, mate. It was a bit of a pain, but it couldn't be helped. But never mind. These things happen. Right. Thanks very much for joining us, mate.
No problem. No problem.
And we shall speak to you again soon. Thanks very much, Gords.
Right. See you later, everyone.
Night, mate. Right. Time for you, Bob.
time for me, Bob. Evening all, how you doing? Alright, yeah, good.
How you doing, Bob?
Not so bad, mate, not so bad. Bit sad it's the last one, but there you go. Moving on to other
Yes.
things.
Yes, bigger and better things.
Absolutely, yeah. So we shall see what's in store in the future.
Yes, after our, I think we're having a little break first.
Well earned break, I think. Definitely
Yes.
well earned.
Definitely. But yes, how have you found things with the OldGits, mate, over the past few weeks?
Different, I will say that.
Definitely different.
It's an education. Yeah, it's the things that you have to do, and it's very involved. Putting one of these shows together, very, very involved.
You're telling me, mate.
Yeah. So yeah, apart from that, it's good.
It's been a lot more involved than I ever thought it was going to be.
That's the thing. You see, it's not just a case of sitting in front of one of these cameras and waffling away to everything. You've got to. It's all that planning. There's loads of it.
There is a hell of a lot of work involved.
That there is. But have you enjoyed it, though?
Oh yeah, for sure. It has been an experience, a very good experience. I have enjoyed every minute of it.
We've had a few nice guests on as well, and we've had the can't sort of not forget the help from Dave and Kirsten, Matt and others. So yeah, it's been brilliant.
We've got to say thank you to all the team for helping us out. Oh, and we've also got to mention what's coming up this week. Yes, we have tomorrow, we've got the very last vaper scene, followed by the very last cave. And then is there a haze? No, there's no haze over this week, is there? So is that it? Just the last?
As far as I'm aware, I'm not sure what's happening Thursday. So, but we shall see. Watch this space.
Yes, watch this space, definitely. But yeah, we've still got a few minutes to fill, Bob.
Fill your boots, mate.
So yeah, I think earlier on Matt was talking about asking some questions of our first guest, wasn't he?
What are you bringing me into it for now, Sunshine?
Well, you were interested in asking our first guest some questions, weren't you, Matt?
Oh, maybe. Amy, you're still there with us, aren't you?
I am, yeah, I'm still here.
So, would you like to ask our guest some questions?
Are you aware currently, since you are an incredibly new vapor, Amy, about the whole political mess that's going on?
I'm not, I'm afraid. I live under a rock. Basically, I'm a hermit.
If I was to peer under this rock and say to you, the government want to ban what we want to do, what would you say to that?
Oh, pressure. I wasn't expecting this.
Well, do you think they're right to regulate it and put it under some sort of control, or do you think it should be left to grow naturally? What's your gut feeling?
I don't think it should be banned. I mean, it's becoming, like, the last few years, I've noticed that it's become more and more popular, I guess. And I would like to think that there's been a lot of research and investigations and stuff like that in regards to health reasons and side effects and whatever, which as far as I know, there is really nothing as detriment as actually smoking. So obviously you've got like the smoking ban in public places, which I can understand that one. but banning it outright, I don't think that should be regulated. Maybe a bit more. But
I think Mr. Gords has got something
sorry,
to
I was
say.
thinking like,
Yes. Gords is holding his hand up there.
Right. Can we give a brief synopsis?
Go for it.
Right. In fairness, our government is actually quite possibly the most liberal government with regards to vaping in the world. I think that's actually fair to say. They actually have turned around and said, we know that the Tobacco Products Directive, which is what is going to ban it for us, that affects all of Europe. And they've said, we know it's a dog's dinner, and we know it's the fault of some English MEPs, but there's not much we can do. What they have done is allowed Totally Wicked, which I'm hoping you are aware of Totally Wicked.
yeah, I've heard of the name knocking about and stuff. Yeah.
Totally Wicked is taking the European government to court, and that's happening on the 1st of October.
Right.
They're actually handing over the challenge Article 20 legal challenge petition tomorrow in London.
Yes. Yeah.
You might have seen something about it.
I have. Yeah.
Now, there's lots of guesses and reasons as to why what has been done has been done. But probably the most honest one, as pointed out by an Italian minister, is we use a lot of money. We gain a lot of money from people smoking.
Yeah, of course.
And vaping is seriously affecting that.
Yeah.
And that is largely the reason for most of the hysteria.
That makes sense.
Here's the thing, really. I think most of us would rather this side of vaping didn't exist. Unfortunately, it currently does. I personally would be much happier if I could just sit here every Wednesday night or whatever night I end up being on and go, look at this mod, it's great, it blows big clouds, this juice tastes fantastic. But unfortunately, the way things are at the moment, and I appreciate very much, Amy, that you're a vapor of what, a week and a half now? Or thereabouts?
Yeah.
And I appreciate, maybe it's a bit unfair of me asking you that question.
I don't know, it's fine, it's fine.
But I was very curious as to what someone in your position, a relatively new person coming to this, would actually think about people trying to stop us doing this. That's
right, exactly. Yeah, that's fair enough.
It's a very valid question, I think.
Definitely, even like, especially if I'm just coming into it and it's like, oh, actually, no, they're trying to stop this now. Oh, okay. What am I going to do?
You see, the ugly truth is, there's many vapors that have been going for much longer than yourself, a number of years. I'm completely unaware of this. So it's a battle. But I'm going to hand it back over to Keef. I've taken up too much time. Thanks, Amy.
It's time we have to wrap up the show now, I'm afraid. We have come to the end of our last show, unfortunately. So, I want to thank Amy. I'm going to get it wrong again.
Pelletier.
Amy Pelletier. Amy Pelletier for joining us on the show tonight. Thank you very much, Amy.
Thank you for having me. It's been great. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. And thank you very much, Gords, for joining us as well.
No problem. No problem. It's always a pleasure.
And thank you, Matt, for jumping in at the last minute there. He's gone quiet now. And thank you very much, Bob, for all your help over the past few weeks.
You're most welcome, mate. Very welcome.
Right, I shall say goodbye for the last time. Well, it won't be goodbye for the last time, but goodbye for the last time from the OldGits. Yes, Bob, I can see you going like that, mate. Yeah, and now you're going like that. Right. And now he's going like that. Right. Thank you very much for watching over the past few weeks, everybody. Bye bye.